To wrap things up, let's talk about project-driven supply chain. If you're in a world where you need projects, there is functionality within the system to manage the process of tracking materials associated to projects. The solution is very flexible and diverse. So if you're doing manufacturing, if you're asset intensive, wherever the case might be, it will or should work for you. You can use the file-based data integrator template and REST services to extend the solution. You can import sales orders from project-specific quote in the quote management system, such as configure price and quote. So it allows you to have that holistic approach within the system. Project-driven supply chain allows you to bring in material, track material, run material through manufacturing, and track the project that it's associated to from the time it goes on a requisition or a project plan, through procurement, inventory, through the process of, again, building it, pick, packing, shipping it in lands of the customer. Plus, if you're using maintenance, you can track the project dollars onto the maintenance work orders as well, and onto the assets. Within the system, you can segregate and manage project-specific inventory. So it'll be striped by inventory. You can also issue it directly to a project. You can pick to the project. You can ship to the project. You can also transfer from the project. You have the flexibility of having the system pull common material. We'll call common material not something associated to a project onto your project if you need to. So you do have some flexibility there. And you can buy or borrow and pay back on your projects. We have a list of recordings out there, so feel free to go look at all those. Again, this is kind of the high level, but you can kind of drill into the details of any of those. You can enable supply chain driven projects or project driven supply chain. Go into manufacturing and supply chain management. You can opt in. We'll need to define your expenditure task types. Obviously, you'll have to enable and turn on projects. Each individual inventory order that you want to track projects on has to be enabled. So if you're just starting out, you can do that on the front end. If you're enabling it now, you need to go back. You need to do the task manage default expenditure types. That must be set up for the individual, or at least identify which existing expenditure types to use as defaults for transactional purposes, as individual default expenditure types can be applied for work orders at the work order header level, labor resources, non-labor resources, materials. And lastly, each organization inventory org that is enabled project-driven supply chain must be classified as a project expenditure organization in the managed project organization's classification task. So there's a fair amount of setup, but if you need to track it, it's worth it. I mentioned there's additional training out there. So if you go out to Oracle Readiness, there is training on managing the inventory, supply, specific inventory for picking, receiving, shipping, transferring, purchasing, executing specific project work orders, performing project-specific customer returns. There's lots of good training out there. Additional resources, if you go out to docs.oracle.com, there's a section on setting up the common features. So go through that. And there's a implementation guide on financial management and grants. So that would be helpful. So good luck with your projects, and thanks for watching.